Okay, so hello. This is something that I said I would be addressing. Actually, I was going to do a series of classes with my preteen girls because I noticed that more and more girls are dealing with feelings of anxiousness. That's my cuckoo clock. That's going off right now, telling me that it's almost 4 o'clock. Anyways, um, so in my previous work before, I did life skill courses with children. It wasn't counseling. I'm not a clinician. That's not what I went to school for, but I did get a lot of training in helping children, teaching them various life skills that would help them in school, at home, with friends. And a thing that came up mostly with girls, but it was not just for them because I did have some boys also that would face feelings of anxiousness, but was how can I teach them to deal when those feelings start, for lack of a better word, attacking them. So this is actually I would actually do a series of 6 meetings, between 6 and 8, depending on the need, sometimes up to 10. And I would do different projects with the kids. I'm just going to very briefly touch on anxiety. I want to start off with the feeling that anxiety is wrong or it's bad. It's not. We need to have anxiety in order to survive. What I mean by that is there are things we should be anxious about. If you're not, we should be anxious about some things, and it is healthy to feel anxious about certain things. So it's not about avoiding being anxious, because if you're not feeling anxious at all, then I'm concerned. That worries me. So I want to state is that anxiety is normal and it is adaptive and it helps us prepare for danger. Therefore, the goal is to manage the anxiety, not eliminate it. When my children are looking over the balcony at a hotel and we're on the 20th floor, my legs start shaking because I'm anxious, because it's saying danger, 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 your kid's going to fall over. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with me. It means my body, not even my brain, my body is telling my brain, or my brain is telling my body, I don't know how it goes, you need to be careful. So it's managing that fear or that anxiety, not eliminating it. When does it become a problem? Anxiety becomes a problem when your body tells you there is danger when there is no real danger. So I'm in my house and I'm by myself and I'm, organizing. And then all of a sudden, I just start feeling my world spinning. I start feeling fear. I start feeling overwhelmed. My first thing to do is to calm down. I talk myself down. This has not happened often, but it has happened. And after I've calmed myself, I need to really sit down and start asking myself, what is going on that I feel out of control? What am I taking on? What am I doing? What is happening with the kids? So when I'm talking to the kids, I guess I'm talking to parents too, but what are the things that cause mental stress? I have different worksheets that I would go through with the kids, but what causes stress? Ourselves, things that we're going through. It could be a hard class. It could be, we didn't make the team and we really practiced. It could be that we feel inadequate for a challenge. And so that could stress us out. And our family, the kids, sometimes their family causes them a lot of stress. There's divorce, there's death, there's a lot of fighting. Sometimes the children, when there's a divorce, they internalize and they feel rejected. There's lots of reason why the children feel stress from their family. Friends, at this age group, friends is a big cause of stress. Especially, if I could get into the dynamics of girls, I would be talking forever when it comes to friendship. But friendship, mostly for girls, can be a big cause of stress. Now, another thing is world problems. I mean, right now we're in the midst of COVID, and there's that fear of a sickness and death. Oh my gosh, they go on and on and on about the environment, and it just could go on and on, the stress that the kids get. So the first thing I do is I ask them, okay, what do you think is causing this stress? And I actually have to explain what stress is. Like I said, this is not going to be a 30-minute video. It's going to be a very fast video. After we talk about what causes stress, we talk about the body. How is your body reacting? How do you know you're having stress? And then I have them circle. This is causes of anxiety. And then what is our body feeling? The body is telling you, I feel fear. I feel anxious. I'm not comfortable. And then there's different things. Some kids will circle 5. Some kids will circle 1. Difficulty speaking, dry mouth, feeling faint, pounding heart, sweating, upset stomach, shortness of breath, feeling sick, tight chest, sweaty hands, lump in throat, weak knees. All of this is your body saying, something's not all right. I don't feel good. The whole fight or flight. So then I go over their body. What is their body? So the first thing is, what do you feel is causing this stress? Or what do you feel is causing this anxiousness? When do you feel anxious? Is when you go to a party and you don't know anybody, you only know one person. When you are in the same room as somebody who's been a bully to you or really mean to you, talking in front of the class, adults screaming, taking a test, gunshots, going to the doctor, talking with kids at school. There's a lot of things. The thing that I want to stress is we don't avoid anxious situations. Avoiding gunshots, that's kind of a given. But how do we manage ourselves that we can be in that situation and feel like we're in control? Okay, so then I have the child choose one thing. Say it's talking in front of the classroom, and I have another paper right here. So this is a series of classes, and I tell them this is what the prompt is. Think of a recent situation in which you were anxious and didn't manage your anxiousness well. What happened? How did you react? Write about it here. If you're having a child that's dealing with this, maybe watch this video with them and put me on pause and talk through each prompt. Then I go into different signs, and that's here on the bottom. I created some of these myself. I have a lot more, believe it or not. So I put, now choose a sign that would have helped you deal with your anxiousness in a more constructive way, and then fill in the blank. So here is the first prompt. Say doing a presentation in front of a class, because that's public speaking, and public speaking is scary. So the first prompt is, it's not as scary as I think because, and then I would put, it's not as scary as I think because I've really prepared for this presentation and I know my facts and I have flashcards. Okay, prompt number 2. Is a thing that's bothering me my business? Yes, it is my business because I'm going to be in front of all the classroom and I'm going to have all these eyes on me. And yes, it's my business. So that's kind of a question. Number 3, I can keep calm by. I can be calm by being prepared. I can be calm by practicing. I can be calm by breathing deeply. I can be calm by getting a hug from my friend. I mean, just go on and on and on. What is the solution to the thing that's bothering me? That's number 4. The solution, and I go back to my solution for my instance, but the children, obviously, it might be different. But the solution to the thing that's bothering me, once again, is, well, I would pray that God would give me wisdom and knowledge and favor, and then I would be prepared. Number 5, I can think of something else like. So then you could ask your child, if this situation is going on, what else can you think about? Because sometimes it's not as easy as a presentation and being prepared. Sometimes it is. My parents are separated and I don't know if they're going to get together. And I'm really anxious about that and fearful. And a lot of children that I've dealt with, fear that a lot of children have, a lot of times relates to their parents. The smaller children, in fact, are fearful their parent is going to pass away. So, amidst this whole COVID thing, I know I'm dating this video with this, but try not to focus on that with the children, because when you mention death, a lot of times they think my parents are going to die. So what else can you think about if your parents are getting divorced, if you didn't make the team, if you're not getting along with your friends? So that's number 5. And number 6 is I can talk about my anxiousness with. There really needs to be somebody that the children can talk to. I cannot stress this enough. Ideally, it's you. Ideally, it is, but sometimes it's not. I know my children, I hope they come to me. A lot of times they do. But I feel, confident that they could go to another relative or a youth pastor or a mature older friend or an older cousin. But if they feel, if you're sharing with this with them and they say, I can't talk to anybody, then please sit down and identify 1 or 2 people they can trust. Hopefully it is somebody who is a Christian, who could give him godly counsel, who can even open up the Word of God and say, well, let's go through the Word, and what does the Word say about this? This thing concerns me because I feel that if children are not taught how to manage these very normal feelings, they start, self-diagnosing. I'm anxious. And I believe they can become anxious if they're allowed to self-diagnose. This video is not for children who have been diagnosed by a psychologist or psychiatrist. This is for you parents who have younger children, who have those children just kind of face that feeling of being overwhelmed once in a while and they're just lost. I try to keep this short. It's hopefully under 15 minutes. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Like I said, I'm not a psychologist or clinician, but I feel that I do have some knowledge that can help your children or even you face those very natural feelings we have of feeling overwhelmed or anxious or fear. God bless you.